Hello, everybody. The DUI guy is back once again. It's been a while. It's been a short while, you guys. I'm sorry about that. Of course, we all have a life to lead, and I guess I got caught up in my stuff, and I miss you guys. I really did. I'm hoping to maybe start doing these lives a little bit more frequently now. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I do have not one, but actually two friends with me today. My first friend that I'm going to introduce is some of you already know. Her name is Beatty. She's my little chihuahua, and she's going to be joining us for the stream. And my second guest here on today, his name is Chris, and he is a former police officer from Colorado. Chris, if you don't mind, please tell us who you are and give us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thanks, Larry, for having me. First off, I'm in real estate right now. Prior law enforcement experience for 9 years. Went through 2 law academies. And in that, we had DUI detection classes, and I was certified in the intoxilizer.
So, and with that experience, Chris, I understand you were on the streets a lot, right?
Correct.
And did you have arrests? Did you arrest people for like DUI and stuff?
Absolutely.
Cool. So Chris is going to be my guest for today, and I hope that he's going to bring this experience to the table. Basically, my goal with this is to give 2 points of view for this next video that we're about to review, which is a bodybuilder cop gets arrested. It's about a 20-minute video, I think. So normally it's just like the way I would do it in the past, only now you're going to get 2 points of view. You're going to get my point of view as a current practicing attorney, and you're going to have the point of view of Chris, who obviously was on the streets and patrolled the streets. And I think you're going to get a very, very fun and interesting experience, because normally you just hear me talk. Now you're going to have the pure, unadulterated version of someone who, used to walk the beat, and no pun intended, you can't beat that. So let's go ahead and pull up the video, Chris. Now,
Okay.
Full disclosure, neither Chris or I have ever seen this video. I played maybe like just the first 10 seconds to make sure that it works. And seeing that it does, now let me just read the chat real quick. We got Flotog in the house. What's up, Flotog? Anthony, Mo, Kevin, News Now, Lipsia. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. You know the drill. Let's go ahead and play the video. Roll tape.
Okay, let's see it.
I gotta do my job. Okay.
Let me know if you guys can hear it okay.
Ain't nobody trying to do that. That's how we do it out here. Well, he was at 13%. How's his license? Good? Yeah, I don't smell it anymore either, Dan. You got it.
This is just a recap.
So we're just gonna have to go in there. You want me to go in? Hey, but honest to God, too, man, that's not 13%. 10. Y'all meet it wrong. It is, bro. Oh, it ain't, man. All right, listen, your car doesn't really smell like weed anymore. I know it don't. It's a black and mild. But it don't smell like weed anymore? After we took you out and I put you over here, man. I don't even smell like weed, man. I told you that from the get-go. It's a cigar right in my door. Go hit the cigar yourself, man.
Still think it was still tucked away, and I just couldn't feel it, if you really want to know the truth. But I wasn't trying to go any further than I did.
I think you went pretty far in making you aware of that.
Trying to get a good cop off the street, and you guys are entertaining it. At the end of the day, that's what it is.
Well,
is that
I have
like
to
a
entertain every
voiceover?
complaint.
Yeah,
and to be honest with
That's
you,
why I even told him to go and file a complaint. But if you listen to the video, he consents to whatever I'm going to do.
I was
Just
not
get
ready
it
for
over
that.
with so I can leave. If you listen to it, just go ahead.
but that doesn't make it okay.
Okay. Even Sergeant Moon said this was going to be nothing.
Why would he say that?
I don't know. You ask him.
Okay. for you to conduct
Oh, we're
that
still in the
search.
recap.
If it was
That's what
more
it
than
is.
marijuana.
How is that? I don't understand how using the blade of my hand.
Well, take the blade out. You stuck your hand in his private area,
Right, and I
searched.
told you that's where they hide it.
That's a violation of your.
Okay, so I admit to a violation. I know what happened there because I was there. And you guys can look at the video all day long and say this and say that. I know what truly happened. Was that justified? I feel like it was. And it may not meet the mold of the policy here, but I feel like it was. And I've made arrests and I've found drugs. I found a lot of drugs doing that same method.
I think this is the start of the video. Okay. Hey, Tabby's daddy, how you doing? Greek Bull in the house. Chris G. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Zappy.
Run the red light. Florida Delta, Yankee Delta, Romeo 88, DYD, R88. Final's going to be just north of Counts and Fisk.
So this is the stop.
Interesting. He knows he's DUID already and hasn't even contacted the guy.
Wait, tell us a little bit more. What does that mean?
He just aired it out. He had a DUID, and I'm just curious on how he knows that.
That he's making a DUI stop before he even contacted the individual?
Correct.
Interesting. Do you think that assessment could come from the way the individual was driving?
Yes, very well, or maybe lights were off, but still, that's a huge jump right there.
To go from complete stranger to, oh, it's a DUI now.
He's basically telling us he's already conducting a DUI stop. It's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Really, guy?
Sorry, sir.
Let me see your license, man. This your truck?
Yes, sir.
Why are you driving like that?
I just on my way home.
From where?
This is a different guy
In Cocoa?
Yes, sir.
than the intro.
You know that light's only a 2-minute light, man.
Yes,
You know?
Job.
You have other speeding tickets on your record?
No, sir.
Was that 10?
Yes, sir.
Was that down by O'Galley?
That's done it here.
Vieira. Okay. And you're Austin.
Yes, sir.
Anything illegal in the car, man? Would you consent to a search if I asked you? Do you have anything illegal inside the car, Austin?
Yes, sir.
What do you got?
I got it.
How much?
Got it for you?
Yeah. Don't bring no weapons out, though.
Sounded like marijuana, even though it said unintelligible.
I
Is
also
it just
think
for personal use?
this officer has a bad intro to introducing himself and the reason for contact he has yet to say.
How old are you, man?
21.
What do you need? What do you use the pot for?
So what should he have done?
So he needs to identify himself, who he's
Mhm.
working for, his name, reason for his stop, which he asked. You know, he hinted something along the lines of, why are you driving like that or something like that. It's just better, more professional, I think, to just say, I stopped you for running the red light. You're going too fast, you know, and then you have to verify it, you know, with if you're going speed, you need radar, things like that. But a bad intro, very, very bad.
But like psychologically, I know a lot of officers like to throw you as the driver under the gun and kind of go, do you know why I stopped you? So you
Correct.
immediately go like, oh, it's because I ran that light back there, you know. Now you already admitted guilt.
Yep.
But I think I like what you're talking about is, hi, good evening, sir. My name is Officer Chris. You know, I stopped you because of that light back there. Can I see your license?
I think it's
registration?
just a lot more professional, and I think it goes a longer way with building a rapport with this guy. So already he comes off kind of typical cop, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough. Let me just rewind a few seconds here. I agree,
man.
Flotog.
21.
Driver should
What do you need? What do you
STFU.
use the card for?
Just a small.
Just a small. I mean, no disabilities or anything.
No.
How's your license?
It's fine.
Where'd you get this from?
Do we know what state this is in, by the way? I'm talking to myself. I don't know if anybody. Oh, Cocoa, Florida. This is in Florida. Okay.
Buddy. What's your arrest arrest record?
It's not at all.
None at all.
Yes, sir.
How long you been smoking dope?
For a while.
Still illegal, man.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? And don't be driving like that. There's dope in the car. Very
Not
foolish.
smart,
Very
right?
foolish of you.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Are you high right now?
No.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Could you pass the DUI test right now? See what I'm saying?
And wait a second, Chris. One of the commenters, who is it? Ross. I totally. I'm sorry. I've been snowboarding all day, so my brain is already a little fried. I'm a little exhausted. You did say, and we did hear the officer say, "I'm about to conduct a DUI-D," right? Like DUI drugs.
So
How on
maybe
earth
he was parked somewhere.
can this cop know, like, drugs, alcohol? How can he know before he made contact?
Very good question.
I mean, to me, that's just what is this? Minority Report? Did he have like some telepathic, I know what's about to happen moment? Because that's pretty wild. You know? Anyway.
You see how easily your life can get jammed up
Yes, sir.
on a simple red light, right?
Yes, sir.
Hang on for a minute, also.
Because I mean, slow reaction, you can
Sorry
get
for being teletype.
marijuana. I wouldn't call it a depressant,
Sorry for teletype.
but it does have like depressive qualities, I suppose.
Can you copy 27,
Alcohol
29,
clearly is a
my number, driver?
depressant, so central nervous system depressant. So it could be the slowed reaction
Hotel.
could be marijuana, could be
522.
alcohol, could
0.
be opiates, could be anything. Granted, opiates and marijuana are both drugs. Fine. Alcohol is not, I mean, technically a drug, but you don't call a DUI-D stop with alcohol. It would be just a regular DUI, wouldn't it?
429P valid Class C expires in 2022.
Thank you, man.
We're watching some futuristic shit here, Chris.
You got a job?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I work at Diamondback Airboats. I build boat towers.
Do me a favor, pull up along the sidewalk, okay?
Yes, sir.
Where did he say? Where does he work?
At the McDonald's, and he wants him to pull up on the sidewalk. I think that's also bad practice. If you think he is impaired to any degree, you can't have him move a vehicle.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. And by the way, I think the title of the video is wrong. Bodybuilder cop, the other traffic.
He doesn't look like a bodybuilder.
I think it's the arresting officer.
Okay.
Is the bodybuilder. Must be. I mean, otherwise the title is wrong. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There it is, right there. Bodybuilder cop, the other traffic stop from 3 days ago. So Flotog just shared the link in the chat. So I'm actually gonna pin it. If anybody wants to go watch the original video, thank you, Flotog. I appreciate that. Hey, Cleveland area body camera. How's it going, bud? Yeah, so I'm going to change the title later. because I thought it was the bodybuilder cop getting away. And what was that cold intro?
Thing.
What was that cold? It was a completely different guy in a pink hat. I don't get it. This whole, like I said, I didn't watch this video before doing this, so sometimes you get a little funky stuff. We're doing great, Cleveland area body camera. Can I just call you CABC? That's a really long name.
It's a long name.
Right? Okay, let's keep going. Let's see what happens. And then maybe we'll do another video. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Because this one moves really fast. But this is not me. It's the video fast forwarding.
Ran red light. Is that even on here anymore? Ran red light. Failed to stop at steady red signal.
Okay, so let's back up just a little bit. What Chris pointed out, I want to make sure that everybody.
You got a job?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I work at Diamondback Airboats. I build boat tires.
Do me a favor, pull up along the sidewalk, okay?
Yes, sir.
Donald's. I built boats, I think he said. Something like
Okay.
that. Donald's.
I thought
yeah.
at first it was
I
McDonald's.
couldn't hear it. It sounds like McDonald's. But he told him to pull off. So,
I think that's
I
bad.
mean, this is in the officer's mind. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. In the officer's mind, I have a potential DUI suspect, right? He already said it before.
He said it before he probably knew.
Right, which is already weird. And now he's interacting with this individual. Maybe he's getting more suspicion, let's say, hypothetically speaking. This is what he's going to testify to in court. We already know.
Found some drugs.
I found some drugs. The guy said he's not high. And of course, I believed him unequivocally and let him go. No, that's not how it happens. I, at that point, determined that I am dealing with a potential DUI suspect and decided to conduct a DUI investigation. So what did I proceed to do? This suspected individual who may be under the influence, I told him to put the car back in gear and move the car over there.
Think of the liability if something were to happen right then and there.
On the officer, the department.
Hit something.
Yeah, a pole, a person. It's absolutely crazy.
What the hell's ran red light? Is that even on here anymore? Ran red light. Failed to stop at steady red signal. This is ridiculous.
Hey, Lacey.
This is utterly ridiculous.
Oh, by the way, Chris, I'm just going to pause the video real quick. We got another former cop in the chat. Ross Hightower said, I'm a former officer and would have never said DUI, let alone DUID.
Because what if you just have a bad driver and things happen? I just don't understand how you would just err. Because those, like, it's on body cam. It's never going to go away. The recordings to dispatch, they're never going to go away. And I think it's just bad habits, bad patterns of doing business.
Yeah, like as a police officer, you're already making a presumption.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you would agree with me. That sounds like a very extreme presumption. Doesn't it?
It does.
Because like you just said, actually, that's a great point, Chris. Maybe you had this in your hand and you weren't paying attention and you do a little maybe swirl maneuver. In his case, it was a red light, right? He said that the driver, what was it? It's a 2-minute light. You do realize it's a 2-minute light. Did he stay at the light too long? Is that what the presumption that we don't know for sure, but what do we feel like it is?
I think he ran it.
He ran it.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like waiting for it.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think actually I agree with you. I thought the opposite, but your version makes more sense. So, and that from that, you jump to clearly it's a DUI on drugs, like obviously, because no sober person has ever in their lifetime ran a red light, right? That's crazy. That's just crazy to me.
Traffic. There it is.
Hey, Just Cause. That's right, Anthony.
You're getting one ticket.
Sir.
You're getting one ticket right now. All right?
Yes, sir.
I can write you for speed. I can get you out here, do it, field sobriety. You'll fail those. Take your license, DUI, go to jail.
Yes, sir.
Jam you up for the marijuana.
Whoa. Okay, there's a lot to unbox there. Can we take it one frame at a time? What the hell just happened? Is this guy speaking in shorthand? Is he texting the guy verbally? Like, okay, hold on. I want to play it again, and then we're going to break it down, Chris. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're getting one ticket.
Yes, sir.
You're getting one ticket right now. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got one ticket, and he handed him something. So
So
maybe
I think everything else is he's just saying what could happen, I think is what's going to happen.
I can write you for speed.
I can. There it is. Yeah. Okay, I can write you for speed.
I can get you out here, do it, field sobriety. You'll fail.
I could give you
But-
field sobriety,
but
which
why
you
didn't he?
fail,
Why didn't he if he already called out a DUI stop?
right?
I don't know. I think that's also bad. If he passes him, then there you go. You move on.
Yeah. This is getting interesting.
Fail those. Take your license, DUI, go to jail.
Okay, so and then the consequences on the coulda, shoulda, woulda. All right.
Sir.
Jam you up for the marijuana. Fuck up your whole life, dude.
I understand.
All right? I'm not going to do that to you.
I understand, sir.
All right? But let this be a learning lesson.
Oh, so he's letting him off the marijuana.
He's letting him go
He's letting him go.
with no
I'll put me in your
proper
life today.
investigation.
Sorry, say it again, Chris.
Without a proper investigation. So
Without
hopefully
completing a
this
full, yeah.
young gentleman gets to where he's going without causing an accident to himself or somebody else. Again, everything's documented. They would know he was just stopped a little while ago and that maybe he was high. Could be bad.
And so, well, I mean, we haven't seen the rest of it. There's more video to go. I don't know if it's on the same driver, but as a police officer, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, you are trained, you know, when you do the standardized field sobriety testing portion, and even, well, let's forget about the standardized field sobriety testing for a second. Let's go back even further. You know, I don't know how Colorado works when you went through the academy, but you went through 2 academies, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah, you did 2. So you did it twice. In each academy, you go through, do they still call it DUI week in Colorado?
What do you mean by week? We have DUI enforcement periods where they enforce them, you know, summer months and things like that to try to reduce drunk driving or impaired driving.
No. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. I realize I'm being a little too ambiguous. Okay. So during your training, which is, I think in Kentucky, it used to be like 928 hours. Now it's like over 1,000. There is here in Kentucky, in the academy, they call it DUI week, where you have to spend 40 hours, 8 hours a day, 5 days.
Correct. There is a period of X amount of hours. I don't know what it is or what it was off memory. But yes, it is probably more than a week of training.
More than a week of training
on that.
Okay. And during that week, when you have the situation that is exactly painted before us, you are trained that there are certain steps that you must take to make sure that your investigation is complete and that you get all the necessary data in order to make an informed decision as an officer of the peace.
Correct.
And so far,
and he's not doing that.
How's this guy doing? Yeah.
He is not.
Today for a reason. For a wake up call, kick in the ass for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, don't do this shit.
I won't.
All right, you understand that? Because you have a lot to lose. All right, you got the rest of your life, man. Don't be stupid out here.
Yes, sir.
All right, make better decisions. All right. So, what's your phone number?
321.
Yeah. If silence not a mission of guilt, it's a promissory note. You're going to take care of the citation. You have 30 days to comply with the citation. Right by the X. Maybe do traffic school, pay off the fine. I'm not sure how much it is, but whatever it is, get it done, man. Otherwise, just suspend your license.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I think this cop was like, I'm just going to school this kid like I'm his daddy.
All right, man. Learn from this, okay?
That's what I'm
Stay
getting.
safe.
That's the vibe I'm getting. That's it?
So it's not a big deal on that traffic stop with the kid, the marijuana. Why did it go to such an extreme with marijuana? Put yourself in that. If that was your son or your daughter, and they just dropped off a friend who smoked marijuana in the car, and an officer pulls up, and they smell the marijuana, and they thinking what you're thinking, and they pull him out, and they search him the way you searched him in a parking lot with people walking around. How do you think you'd feel about the officer doing that to your child?
Well, this isn't my child. This wasn't an upstanding citizen.
So at one point, I don't know if it was you or Contardi, but they handcuff him.
You figure out what's
the
going
driver. What's the reason for handcuffing him?
What's that, Chris?
Did you figure out what I think's going to happen?
It's going to be the same cop
with the other guy in the parking lot, and they're going to compare him.
Yep.
I don't think I recall.
But it sounds like a deposition. Like this cop is getting sued for an unlawful search and violation of rights. It is what it's starting to sound like to me, because it's all about like where you searched and how it made him feel and what the public saw. If you're catching that vibe, I could be wrong, but it sounds like a deposition to me.
Is that a normal practice to handcuff somebody on a traffic stop?
No.
Okay.
There it is.
Obviously, we would do it within policy if we feel unsafe or we feel like we would.
But there's three of you guys there.
Right.
It's a tent, illegal tent.
Right.
And
just an
you
interview,
already searched the car, and I'm assuming he's already got his information. Dan's already got the driver's information, so there's really no reason to handcuff him at that point.
I think at that point, the driver was really upset and sort of just, displaying sort of like actively aggressive verbal.
Were you afraid of your safety with him?
No, I was pretty confident that we were fine.
Okay. So in the body cam video that I watched, you're holding his hands up, basically, his arms up, while Officer Contardi searches his person. Is that a normal practice to search somebody like that in a parking lot?
No, sir.
So have you seen that Officer Contardi do that type of search in the past?
Unfortunately, yes, sir.
How often?
I think I've been on maybe like 2 or 3 traffic stops.
Where he physically puts his hands down some guy's pants or a person's pants and looking for drugs.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, I didn't know the full policy on that.
Who takes the driver out of the vehicle?
Rock.
Why does he handcuff him?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Is that a normal practice that we handcuff somebody on a traffic stop?
It depends on if there was other factors. I don't know what he was thinking, but it's not on a normal routine stop. No.
So on this stop particularly, it didn't, a tent illegal tint didn't justify. So in this scenario, did you feel it was justified in handcuffing him?
Could have been, yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Based on
my training experience. I mean, the guy could have taken flight. He could have produced a weapon.
Well, that could be anybody.
Correct.
I was literally just thinking that it could be anything, anywhere.
Would you handcuff everybody based on that?
No.
He makes a comment about he doesn't want to go in and get it if he doesn't have to. Do you know what he's referring to there?
No, the only thing I can believe of is he's doing a deeper search.
Okay.
Or like going in his pockets instead of doing a pat down.
Okay. So you search the whole vehicle and nothing's found. Then he says to you, do you want me to go get it? But you don't say anything. Do you answer him?
No.
You don't say anything to him?
I don't even know if I actually heard that.
Okay.
You know.
You mean you didn't hear it at that time?
Correct.
But you heard it on
I heard it on the video, yes.
Okay. So when he goes back and he goes to search him further, are you aware what kind of search he's doing?
No.
So are you aware what search Officer Contari did at the car?
At the car, yes.
What kind of search did he conduct?
It looked more like a pat down to me. I don't know. I didn't see anything. I didn't see pockets turned inside out or anything like that.
So you didn't see that he actually went into his pants at all, searching his genitalia area or his buttocks?
No.
Are you aware that Officer Contari have searched people like that in the past?
I've heard rumors, but I haven't witnessed it for myself.
Okay. So you don't remember what he said when, this guy's alleging that you basically strip search him
Right.
in the parking lot, and Contari admits to that?
I don't remember him necessarily. I don't remember him necessarily saying that.
So when you do watch the body cam video, do you still have that same belief that Rhodes doesn't see anything based on the body cam video and the communication he has with Contari searching the vehicle?
I can't say definitively.
In the body cam video, it almost appears that Officer Rhodes is making a point to be out of the area, writing the ticket while that's going on. Would you admit to that?
I would say that there was probably something to that. Officer Contari comes up, undoes the person's belt. And if my memory serves me correctly, actually pulls the pants or shorts away and then reaches underneath. I forget how he's objecting or uncomfortable. Or Officer Contari, I think you can tell that he goes from the front to the back. And I think he actually says something about I forget which words he used, but I mean something about him going too far up into the cheeks or
right. And this is all occurring in a parking lot.
Parking lot 940.
Right.
That's why the public being in a public place
and
is so
I don't know
important.
if you were able to see it, but on his body cam, can you physically see him move Mr. Passaway's genitals while he's actually looking for drugs?
Maybe. You have to have a specific reason as to why you do what you do. You just can't willy-nilly do it.
Well, this was on a non-moving traffic infraction.
I don't.
For tint.
Pick him up, put your belt on.
Nah, you took it loose, didn't you? Shit. Fuck all that, man.
So you're gonna walk around with your pants falling off?
I want everybody to see what you did. You took my motherfucking belt loose. You did that. That man took my belt loose.
Hey, right here. Look.
Grab my dick, everything. I ain't with that shit, but he ain't far. First he said my car smell like weed. Nah, it don't smell like that.
Hey, right here. You're not even listening.
Yes, I'm right here when he
Wow, you're too close. Come stand right here by me. That's right. We did what we had to do.
Yeah, he's out here and said it smell
Just
like weed. He walked right up to me. Oh, your car doesn't smell like weed now. After you ran through the shit.
You got it on him. Yeah, he's got it. So we're just gonna have to go in there.
Hey, Liberty Cause.
So we're just gonna have to go in there. You want me to go in? I'll go start writing. You want me to go in?
Hey, Deb.
I'll go
Welcome, everybody.
$160 ticket for each window.
I appreciate that.
Just go get it fixed, get this signed, and take care of it within 30 days, all right?
Man, that wasn't called for, man. You
Okay,
said right
let me pause this here real quick. Hello everybody. I'm sorry. I was barely paying attention to the chat as much as I could. Dondrell TV, I think, is also a former police officer. I guess we're getting a lot of cops on the stream today, Chris. So that's cool. Actually, not former. Excuse me. I believe he's a current because he said he arrested somebody the other week for a DUI, if I'm not mistaken. So please correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like you're a current police officer. So please, if you are, feel free to chime in the chat. I would love to hear your input on the stuff that we're discussing here. So sounds like, again, it sounds like an interview. It's kind of like a hybrid interview deposition almost. And just my lawyer sense is tingling, as I guess I could say, because the way he's asking questions, like, would you admit that, did you see that? Like, it's very confrontational. You can clearly see this is like a cross-examination that is happening here. So it's either a very, very provocative interview, which is totally fine given the circumstances. But secondly, it also seems like they're obviously fishing for details and figuring out what exactly happened, and may or may not be a lawsuit may be soon following. So this guy, this individual we're seeing on camera right now in the pink shirt and the pink hat was strip searched for drugs in his genital crotch area in public, in full view of everyone and everything. And by the way, that's not the first video that I have done where that happened. There was a New Jersey cop that did a similar thing to a guy on the side of the road. I did that video months and months ago. I'm sure we could find it at some point, but it's not relevant right now. So, Chris, from a former police officer's perspective, I'm almost afraid to like throw you under the bus like this. But since you're here, and I did not expect for us to stumble on something like this, obviously. What is the protocol? And let me ask the question this way. If you as a police officer stop somebody, and it's very similar, it kind of reeks a little bit, no pun intended, of a very similar, very similar to the case that with the New Jersey cop. He's like, I can smell the weed, man. I can smell it on you. Where's the dope? Tell me where the dope is. I don't have it, man. I don't have it on me, man. Where's the dope? Tell me, or I'm gonna search you, nook and cranny and everything. And it's exactly what he does. And it's on video, like how he just literally, basically, surgically inserts himself into the guy, literally. So from a police officer, what do you do? From a police officer's perspective, you have a guy who says, it's not on me, but like you can clearly smell it. I mean, what's your prerogative? What should it be?
If he gives you consent or you have enough to search the car, go through the car. If you still smell it, it's probably not a large enough amount really to really move much forward. I mean, with it, you'd have to get a warrant if you wanted to strip search the guy. And is that worth it if he has, I mean, it's still breaking the law in this state, I believe, with marijuana, but he probably doesn't have that much on him. Still probably misdemeanor charges.
He's performing a cavity search, a full body cavity search in public, in full view, openly. And if it was like,
you can't do it.
Yeah. Even if it was cocaine, which is a felony, okay, let's make it extreme a little bit. He suspects, well, that's the other thing. Like, what is that joke? I'm not addicted to cocaine. I just love the smell, right? I just love the way it smells or whatever. Cocaine doesn't have a smell, right? I don't think it does, at least. Heroin doesn't have a smell. Marijuana does. So, but let's say they do think that it's, the guy has something in his orifice. Okay. Do they have enough to perform a cavity search on the street?
I'm gonna go with no.
I think this is completely ridiculous and unlawful, illegal, unconstitutional, in violation of even taking him to the station and performing the search there. I think
Right. When you're getting into moving them around and doing that,
what do you mean?
Dangerous. You move him one place to another, then he's in custody.
Now, and now you mean like he brought drugs into the jail? Now it's an additional.
Well, no.
offense?
Once you start moving, you move this individual from here. You are now in a like a detained or an arrest state. Now you're going to transport him somewhere else. So you got to make sure everything's being done right.
What exactly are you referring to? Because I think I follow, but can you clarify?
Well, as far as
transporting from point A to point B.
So you're moving him from here to now somewhere else. I think you need more with.
As in like probable cause, like
right? They don't have really much other than
no.
But if you're going back to the other scenario with cocaine, you won't have anything to start moving him around and doing stuff. You can't do that.
Right. And I was trying to make it like a felony offense to maybe try and justify the cavity search, but I can't. Again, you're running into, it's like a catch-22, right? Because I don't think is possession of marijuana a felony in any state in the union anymore? And maybe in some countries, but I don't think. Maybe some Arab countries is the only thing I could think of. But in the United States, as far as I know, it's either legal, medicinally legal, or unlawful in a misdemeanor sense, right? I can't think of anywhere.
To some degree, but I think once you start getting those large amounts, it still becomes a felony through weight.
Well, I'm still thinking of, hypothetically the individual hiding.
Oh yeah,
like there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, you could hide on your person, but probably not.
No. That's what I was referring to. I mean, there's only so much. I doubt it would rise to the felonious level, in that sense. So, yeah.
You even heard him out your own mouth. He said after he came up to me and said, "Your car don't smell like weed." And what this man stuck his finger in my ass.
You stand right here for me.
What's his name?
Katardi.
Katardi.
I love how these guys just like taking it in stride. I'm laughing, but it's horrible.
Katardi.
It's just the way he said it.
Appreciate it, man.
Drive safe, all right?
Drive safe. Well, I've just been violated, man. I'm gonna try to drive safe, I guess. So I do want to find, since we're on the topic, I have done this video before, but most of you probably have not seen it. We have a nice crowd going here, and I want to play this video. So let's, it's on YouTube. This is the short version. Let me find it real quick, chat. Give me just one moment. Here we go. Found it. All right. So let's share this tab. If you guys can see it. Let's make it big. All right, here we go. Motor vehicle stop, March 8th, 2017, Southampton Township, Burlington County. State Troopers Joseph Drew and Andrew Whitmore. This video is crazy.
You get any sound yet?
Is there no audio?
I don't have audio.
Let me see.
Chat says no sound.
Let me stop sharing real quick. Share screen. A tab. Share. And let me start the video over. Do you hear sound now?
Yep, I have sound.
Okay. Sorry about that, you guys.
Older gives us PC, which is probable cause to search that vehicle. So do you understand what's going on? Not speaking.
Is there sound now? Can you guys hear it all? Can you guys all hear it? Okay, here we go. They can hear it.
All right, because the dude that I removed, the driver,
This is New Jersey.
I moved him. I put him in the back of my vehicle. My vehicle reeks. Your vehicle doesn't reek anymore. I was speaking to the passenger. You know, he's like, listen, it's not my car. I don't know if anything is in there. You know what I mean? He's more so, you know, playing that game, saying if there is something in there, it's not his. The driver, I went back and tried to speak to him. He's just not talking anymore. So he does reek. I think he may have something on him. He might have stashed it somewhere.
That's what I'm thinking.
Stashed it somewhere where we can't just physically can't.
There, did you hear that, Chris? We think that the driver stashed his weed somewhere. This is the beginning of the horror.
Okay.
Not in his pockets. I don't think. Unless you just take the gloves off and maybe try it like that. And maybe feel. You turn his pockets inside out, right?
Yeah, I'll search it again. I'm absolutely going to.
I would say he definitely reeks. You ever been stopped for marijuana before?
I don't know. Have you ever stopped someone for marijuana before?
Yeah, we have all the time.
Yeah, that's what it smells like.
I want you to look and put all your money in.
Everything's going in my hat. You know, money's got a lot of germs on them, right? We're going to put that back in the hat. That's clear.
If you think this is the worst thing I'm going to do to you right now, you have another thing coming, my friend.
When a cop says to you on the side of the road, you think this is the worst thing I'm going to do to you, my friend, you got another thing coming. I mean, I'm just a civilian, man. And when you hear something like that, like I'm trying to put myself in this cat's shoes. You know, as a police officer of the law, we expect a certain level of, when we discussed this already, you know, a certain level of professionalism, a certain level of decorum, a certain level of, I don't know, humanity, humility, sympathy, empathy. I can go on forever. These individuals, and you know, they're put there to allegedly, it feels like I have to preface it with that, to protect and to serve. And now this officer is interacting with a driver on the side of the road, saying things like that. I mean, the level of fear that it puts into me, and I'm not even there. Like hearing something like that, I would be in fear for my life.
It's only going to make his investigation harder too, because nobody wants to be talked to in that kind of way. They're going to shut down, and you're not getting anywhere. So it's all in how you treat people and talk to people, and what you kind of get back and communicate with each other. That's not good or professional at all.
Yeah, I completely agree. It takes away from the profession too, you know, because we have like a certain expectation. What's that, Chris?
Oh, I was just going to say it makes a lot of other good cops in that profession look bad, because people are going to say, oh, I already know how cops treat people. This is what they see.
Exactly. And when you see something like that, it's kind of hard to unring the bell. You know, I forget the exact saying, but essentially, one rotten apple can, poison the entire bag or whatever it is. You know what I'm trying to say, chat. And this is clearly the rotten apple. And this is, oh my God, this is only the beginning. He wasn't kidding, by the way, when he said you got another thing coming.
I gave you a chance. Don't kick the shoes off.
Yo, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Bro, this is ridiculous.
Move your
This
hand.
is like sexual assault. Like, I don't have nothing in my pants. Like, what are you doing? Yo, this is ridiculous. Like,
Definitely get the odor when you open your pants. Is that right? Yeah.
all right, look, you want me to take my boxers off right here so I don't have to waste your time?
Thank
to
you,
go
Nathan.
downtown?
One bad apple can spoil the bunch.
Like, what do you
That's
want me
it.
to do? Like, seriously, I have to go to work. You want me to take my clothes off? I'll be more than happy to, officer. Like,
Let me explain something to you. All right, it's not like TV. All right, so if you think you're going to go to the county
This is
jail for
Doggo.
it, it's not like
News
that.
Now Lives.
All right,
Yeah.
it's a disorderly person's offense.
I know how life
Speedy.
works. I am not stupid. Like,
All right, what
I
we're
shouldn't even
saying
be
is
talking to you. I'm not even going to say anything anymore.
you don't have to.
She's sleeping.
You don't have to at all.
Am I free to go?
Not at this point, no.
Am I under arrest?
Yes, you are.
For what?
You're under arrest for
For
the
what?
odor of marijuana.
For what?
The odor of marijuana. You are
Oh,
under your vehicle.
so now you could get arrested for somebody smelling something. That's
Yes.
what this is about.
Yes.
And what kind of law is that?
It's a
What
New
is the
Jersey law.
what is the law then?
It's a New Jersey law.
What is the New Jersey law?
New Jersey law states.
You can arrest.
Did you catch that, Chris?
I did. So he's being placed under arrest for smelling like marijuana.
It's a New Jersey law. Did you know that?
I did not.
It's a new. I'm sorry. It's a new New Jersey law. I had no idea it had passed. It completely went over all of our heads, apparently. And speaking of, by the way, and I know the answer from a law perspective, but I'm curious from a former police officer's perspective. So it's not illegal to be like, you can't get arrested for having something in your system unless you're being like, belligerent and uncooperative, or like you're being asked to leave,
Like in
and
the
you're not
public,
trespassing, being disorderly, causing a ruckus, trying to fight, like whatever it may be. But you cannot be arrested for the state of being drunk just because you're drunk, let's say in a place where you're lawfully permitted to be intoxicated, like a bar, let's say. Again, assuming all those other factors are not met that we just discussed. Same thing with even like an illegal substance. Alcohol is legal,
right?
But if you're stoned on cocaine, or high on cocaine, I guess I don't know if you'd be really stoned. High on cocaine, even though cocaine by itself is an illegal substance, but because you're not in possession of it, like physical possession, it's in your system, it's in your bloodstream. They can't like draw your blood and then say you're in possession of cocaine by virtue of it being in your bloodstream, right?
Right. So we've helped people on calls where they're ODing on one of those things, and cocaine or whatever, what have you. And what are you on? So we can tell the paramedics. It's to help them. We're not going to do anything with whatever information we get from them other than relay. He took X, Y, and Z, just to help them better help him.
Not to charge them.
Never.
Right. Because I know of no law that says you can be arrested for the state of being intoxicated by an illegal substance or a legal one. Again, unless you're being belligerent or disruptive, trespassing, and so on, like we discussed. Dondrel TV says you can't be arrested for having an OD, an overdose. I think I can actually do this. Oh, that's cool. There it is. You can't be arrested for having an overdose. So thank you for that, Dondrel TV. Let me just do a quick shout out. Thank you for the $10 dono, Hiram Bifidum. He says, or she, I served a maximum prison sentence with no trial. I carnally, loathingly hate the New Jersey State Police. Okay, so this was done by New Jersey on a flesh and blood level. That's deep, man. That's deep. On a flesh and blood level, it is against the law to use racial epithets. Oh, is it? It's a question. Is it against the law to use racial epithets or ethnic slurs towards a police officer? Okay, I'm gonna say two things about that here. Thanks again for the dono. Number one, please don't. Please don't. It's gonna cause more trouble than it's worth, especially if you're meaning like to their face or anything. Just gonna cause more trouble. You're gonna get arrested. You're gonna get charged. It's probably gonna get dismissed. We're gonna pay a bunch of money to lawyers to get it dismissed for you, because First Amendment protection says you can, as long as you're not being. It's not like you know, I think hate speech isn't a moderate protective. I'm not a constitutionalist. You'll have to excuse me. I don't remember the case law directly on point on this. But anyway, simply yelling profanities. But I mean, racial epithets and ethnic slurs, that's just stupid low, man. That's just stupid low. You're going down to their level. Don't do it. It seems silly, but is it protected speech? Probably, and you're probably protected by the First Amendment. I still fighting words, yeah, fighting words, but he didn't say fighting words. He didn't say fighting words. Fighting words, I'm aware. Yes, fighting words are illegal because any words like incite violence, incite a riot, incite a fight. Those are all unconstitutional. Those are not. I'm sorry. Those are not protected by the Constitution. So you can get in some serious trouble. But just on a practical level, you don't even need to look at the law, man. Just it seems like don't go down to their level, man. Thank you, Dondrel, for that comment, by the way. Again.
Somebody, if I was arrested, you'd be bringing me down right now. I know how.
Oh, we might take you back to the station to a strip search. We might do that.
If that's you guys trying to scare me into telling on myself for something I didn't even do wrong, then that's not going to work. Because you're going to bring me down, you're going to strip search me, whatever you want, put your little glove on, try cavity check, do this, do that, strip search me.
Also, it's been done before.
No, I know how you guys try. I know.
Who's you guys? What does that mean?
Come on, like I don't have weed.
Let's get in the boxes, huh? Let's get in the boxes. Not.
Can I have? Come on, don't. I'll show you. I'll show you.
Strip down right in front of the traffic.
And you know, by the way, rewatching this video for the second time now. I know you're watching this for the first time, Chris, but this is a second rewatch for me. And I only played it because it's directly on point on the topic of the video we just watched, and I'm meshing the two together since I have a point of contact, if you will, with this topic previously. I just noticed that. And it's exactly what is about to happen. I mean, we already know this guy is about to be strip searched in the middle of the street by the side of the highway by a New Jersey trooper who later gets fired for this. All right, spoiler alert.
Okay.
But I remember now, I forgot then, as you just heard, the guy the driver almost provokes him, like, you can do this to me, which seems, that's the one thing that I guess I find very odd. Because words have consequences. And these cops are already like not on his side. They're obviously already like basically threatening him. Like, you think this is bad, you got another thing coming, buddy. We got a whole lot of power. And sure, they can allude to a lot of stuff, but now he almost, I don't know if you agree with me here, but to me, it seems like he almost provokes them. Like, do it, you know? I dare you, almost. You know? And when you have so much power as a police officer on the street, sometimes that power gets abused. And as we're about to see.
Dude, I don't want you guys fucking doing me like the TSA and shit, fucking sexually assaulting me. Like, come on.
For the record, this guy's really funny. He takes it in stride. He takes it like a champ. I swear. I just can't. I wanna like I want to like take this guy out and buy him lunch, just to like hear his life's tale. I swear.
In the back.
He seems like a cool guy.
Who's he
The
talking
driver.
to, DB?
I hope so. I mean, if it comes down to if I have to put on latex gloves and get after it, I will.
Bro, you are not touching us. You know, you can bring me down. You do what you gotta do. You are not sticking those gloves up. If you want to put your hand in my pants and fucking sexually assault me again, just you can do that. You're not doing no weird shit with that. I don't fucking care what you're talking about. Search, do whatever you think you gotta do. It's gonna be on that little body cam, though.
Yep. And it's going to be on a microphone that's attached to my.
All right, that's good.
I'm seeing you right now.
All right, yeah, I know. I already know clear. I already said that too. I already know the car's negative. I know that too. So. Let's go.
I know the car is negative for marijuana possession. I think is what he's referring to.
I don't know exactly if this is legal or not, but I don't think it is.
It's legal. I just told you to take the source.
I don't know.
You can tell me where it is right now, or I can go in and go get it.
No, Cap. He asks, do they have power trip training? They
They
should. They absolutely should have power trip training for some police officers.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah.
They need it.
What? Yo, you are really on some wild ass shit right now. Like, yo, oh man, I can't wait. You better hope this is legal. Oh my.
It's not. Spoiler
Did
alert.
you find it? Did you find it? Yo, you guys are really ridiculous. So you might as well ask me on a fucking date. You might. Oh, it sure seems like. Yeah. Yo, this is justice! He's raping me! Yo, he's raping me! Yo, help! Yo, what the fuck? Yo, he's raping me! Yo, he's raping me! Damn.
I can't watch this part.
Yeah. Oh, don't show him my dick too. Yo. Don't break my pants on these two out there. This is getting out of control. Yo. This motherfucker's a faggot. Yo, is this legal? Are you serious? Yo. Do you at least feel bad for me, man? Like, what the fuck kind of shit is this?
At least take the guy out to dinner first. I mean, don't do him like that. Jeez.
Yo.
I was not expecting this.
Yo, this is just real. This is some really wild shit. Yo, I just got fucking. Damn, I think I'm traumatized. That was really fucking weird. That was really. Justin, he touched my ass. He grabbed my nuts. He grabbed my dick. Oh, wait. Justin, he found weed. I had weed on me. I didn't know.
I don't think so, Blind Justice.
No, don't go back. No.
This gentleman's jeans aren't that tight. I think they could have got a pretty good pat search down over the jeans to feel any kind of baggies. I mean,
Can you say that one more time, Chris? I apologize.
yes, his jeans don't look baggy. They look pretty close to his skin. So I think they could have just done a pretty good outer pat search as a normally, and I think they could have known if something was there. Could have felt something.
And it doesn't matter what the driver says. All that matters is the officer to follow their training and not violate people's rights or the law. And I think everything was violated here. I hope he sued. I don't know if he did or not. I don't know if chat knows. Blind Justice, again, did they charge the police officers with any type of rape or sexual assault? I don't think so. As far as I know, I don't think so. There was another point I wanted to make, or maybe a question. I forget what it was. It'll come to me.
Getting frustrated because you move. Stop moving. I'm not moving. The less you move, the quicker this is safe.
Andreas Christensen, thank you for the 20 no.
Bro, this is ridiculous.
Is
yo,
it
this is yo. He's doing
police
some real
or the law
crazy
that
shit
wields
right
power?
now, yo.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yo, I cannot believe this is really happening. Just
It's just an abuse. It's clear abuse of power.
Says he smelled weed. Like you guys got that much. You got that much. You might as well eating down the whole fucking world for my dick, man.
What does his hoodie say?
I know, you're getting tired, right?
Drywall load. Oh, it's just a company. Also, I noticed one of our police officers in the chat, I think it was Dondrel TV, stating that the officers were trying to prolong the stop because we all know Terry versus Ohio that stops need to have a justification. They can only be so long until you find go from reasonable suspicion to probable cause. Now I have a reason to keep this vehicle here longer. Unless I'm mistaken, doesn't the smell of marijuana take you from reasonable suspicion to probable cause? In your experience, Chris?
Marijuana is one of those things that is always evolving and changing. So I don't really have a clear answer for you because it's been legalized for X amount of years. So the marijuana is always changing. It seemed.
Now, sorry to interrupt. Are you speaking from Colorado, your experience in Colorado specifically? Because obviously it's a very bad question that I just asked, and I realized that because we're in a state where, let me rephrase it, in a state where, and maybe you can't answer it because you've never been a police officer in a state where it is illegal to possess, but maybe you've heard about it or something. You can share with us if it's illegal, okay? If the smell of marijuana is illegal, it's starting to sound like a really terrible question. But where I'm going with this is, if it is illegal, you could go from reasonable suspicion of criminal activity to now I have probable cause of criminal
Evidence
activity because
of
I
a
can smell
crime.
it. Yeah. And now you're not in violation of Terry, for example, because now you can
You're
stop
investigating
and you're investigating a potential crime.
Right.
Exactly. Thank you. We got a couple in here. News Now Lipsia says coffee on me with the €5. Appreciate that, brother. Eat Your Broccoli, also with a $4.99 coming in clutch right after that. He says he doesn't even just feel him once. He repeated the same. Yeah, he's
going back around.
It's almost like it became, at that point, it became, in my eyes, malicious and intentional. It's not even an investigation anymore. It's, yeah, I'm on a power trip. I could do this. I'm just going to do it.
What are you grabbing me like that for? So you don't walk out into traffic and get hit. I know you just sexually assault me, but I'm not going to kill myself. Like, I'm not that traumatized. I cannot believe that.
That's exactly right, Perry Mason 420. They always connect the weed and the money. And now your $20 and your marijuana magically became a dealer.
Documents. That's not a ticket, is it? Sure is. I'm going to do you one better, my friend.
All right, I just want to pause here real quick because this is about to get like even better. But Perry Mason, Chris, says, quote, he's quoting like the police officer, "I smell the odor of marijuana, of weed, which gave me the probable cause to search your entire car for weed. Then I found money, which I took as an asset forfeiture." Do police officers do that in your experience? Have you seen that happen
No,
in Colorado?
no. Again, it's a hard state to relate to with other states because the marijuana thing is just.
I realize it's a bad question for Colorado again.
That wouldn't be my specialty at all.
That's fair.
I couldn't give you a fair answer on that.
That's fair. We'll move on.
So that's how it works. You think I have ways to go find and now I get tickets. I got enough tickets, man.
But we have heard of asset forfeiture here on the channel, and some states
If
you
you
can
honestly
get.
believe that your rights were violated or I was
Hold on.
unprofessional in any way, I put my name and my badge number, the car I was driving, the license plate of the car. You may fill it out and you may bring it to any state
And let
police
him go.
barracks that you choose to do. Okay?
Did he get charged with
Okay, let him
anything?
go. Traffic citation, traffic infraction. Let me. I was talking over it probably. Here,
Jack, here are your documents.
listen.
Sure is. I'm going to do you one better, my friend.
He's giving him a ticket.
So that's how it works. You think I have ways to go find and now I get tickets. I got enough tickets, man.
That's right, Lord T-Gen. He calls him my friend. I'll do you one better, my friend. I mean, he's gotten so close and personal with this guy. I mean, like I said, he better take him out to a lobster dinner after this, because I think they're doing it a little bit in reverse, but better late than never. This is a ticket for tailgating. Did you hear that?
Yep, I heard it.
That's crazy. He's giving him a ticket after all of that. Yeah, here's your ticket for tailgating. Later, skater.
Jeez.
This is the New Jersey State Police compliment complaint form. If you honestly believe that your rights were violated or I was unprofessional in any way, I put my name and my badge number, the car I was driving, the license plate of the car. You may fill it out and you may bring it to any state police barracks that you choose to do. Okay?
That's right, Diesel.
There you go.
What's the question?
Yeah.
Ken in the chat had a good point as well. He has his clipboard on this guy's car. You got to respect the guy's property. You can't slide in that metal thing on top of his paint. That's just pure disrespect.
Well, I think we all learned about the boundaries of respect that this police officer has for people. I think his concern for the paint on the car is definitely a very, very low on that totem pole, isn't it, Ken? Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I was not expecting that at all.
I wasn't either.
I go from a title that says bodybuilder cop, arrest video, thinking it is going to be just a cop who's a bodybuilder getting arrested for a DUI.
That's what I was thinking.
And not only did we not get that, we got we got the whole kit and caboodle on a totally. And this is you may have seen this, Chris, and obviously I just want to ask, maybe you can share a little bit of input with us in the chat for the viewers. And I don't want, maybe if you don't feel comfortable answering this, by the way, because at some point they may be watching, please stop me. Because again, the last thing I want to do is make things uncomfortable for you. So here's my question. You, as you went through the 2 academies that you completed, the police academies, the law academies, you've encountered individuals of all backgrounds, shapes, sizes, military backgrounds, maybe kids fresh out of high school, maybe they went through some college, maybe completed full college, non-traditional police officers, traditional police officers, and so on and so forth. And, sometimes you probably had a chance to come in contact with individuals who, I don't know, would you say, do not feel like they belong on the police force? Like,
not in a sense that they're doing something wrong or violating people's rights or being unfair. Maybe only in the aspect of maybe a little scared to act due to either repercussions, or they're scared to go hands on with somebody when the time is necessary. But never, I would say I've never encountered anyone that I've worked with that was like some of these videos we see. I'd say I had a pretty good agency that did a very good job. I got lucky with that.
I was literally you took the words out of my mouth, Chris. You got,
because they see some of these videos and you're like horrified and you're like, how did these people make it? And I haven't experienced anyone like that, because it puts the officers that, just like in that IA video, those other officers are getting in trouble for somebody else's actions, but then you were supposed to stop that person. So those people could bring you down by their actions, even if you're acting in good faith, and it happens.
Right. As we have all heard it, the thin blue line. You're here to support each other and protect each other. Anytime I think about something of this, going down this direction, I should say, I always think of the movie Serpico.
I have not seen that movie.
Serpico is oh my god, the lead actor. Chat, help me out here while I'm thinking who's the lead actor in Serpico. I see his face. Al Pacino. I remember Al Pacino plays this police officer in, I want to say, late 60s, early 70s, and the movie came out in the 70s, I believe. Fantastic movie, by the way. If you haven't had a chance, you're in for a treat. And it is about the police force. And I won't spoil it for you, both Chris and chat. But essentially, it's all about like the thin blue line and how Al Pacino's character joins the police force and he sees the corruption. And this is New York, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's New York in the 70s. And you can imagine the level of corruption that he encounters and he falls into and falls victim to, because he's not he just wants to be a cop. He just wants to do good in the world. And now he sees how some of these police officers are running protection for some of these convenience stores, and they're literally part of the job every day or every week or whatever is to make their rounds to collect cash from some of these store owners. And he's horrified, that this is happening, basically right under everybody's noses. And the scariest part is everybody seems to be okay with it. It's just part of the job. This is what we do, man, kind of thing. So very on payroll for the mafia. Exactly, Dondrel TV. Ross Highwater says, I had one officer fired for misconduct. Good for you, Ross. That's awesome. And again, I'm not, this is, I don't want to come off as some police hater by any stretch of the imagination, because I'm not. I love the police. We need police. Without police, and we know, maybe not personally, firsthand experience, but we've heard and we are aware of countries like Mexico, Russia, to name two, where bribery and police bribery is just the normal daily thing. You slip them a couple hundred and you're off the hook. See you later. And then sometimes they pull you over just to, they know you're a tourist, just to get some money from you, to extort you. So obviously, a corrupt police force doesn't work. So having at least as good a police force as we can, I'm all for. Again, I don't want to come off as some police hater. I know we've talked a lot about, you know, police misconduct on this channel, but what I'm talking about is getting rid of these bad officers, these rotten apples, as we've called them. Take them out, as many as we can capture. And you know, having somebody said it in the chat, we need, here we go, Berkmans. We need good police. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. And so Andreas Christensen again, holding the police to the same standard of law as everyone else is not hatred. It's expecting the same as of everyone else. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. I could not have said it better. So, I mentioned that movie because, and I want to go back real quick, Chris, before we let you go and end this stream. So she's snoring. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but Doggo fell asleep. Beatty fell asleep. My question, now I lost it, of course. She distracted me. I heard
Hopefully none of the viewers are asleep.
We had like 400 at one point. That was pretty impressive. Oh, I remember. Okay. So you mentioned that you saw some police officers when you went through training that had, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but basically were not, in your opinion, sufficiently equipped for hands-on engagement with potential suspects. Can you, since you brought it up, can you elaborate on that? Because I'm curious, what do you mean?
So you had a couple videos back where I'm trying to remember what it was, but even you were saying this officer has to make a decision right now. He's gone way too long. I think it was about pulling somebody out of the car. You better get out of the car. I'm going to break your window. And it was back and forth for about 15 minutes. Now, I'm not giving that example because I was not in that situation. But something similar to like, hey, now is the time you either need to go this route with it, this way, make a decision for yourself, kind of figure things out. Just maybe being new to the job and things like that. You know, just kind of people trying to figure out the job and how to get moving. But sometimes it's, okay, time is now. Let's go.
So you have to be quick on your feet.
Right.
Obviously, you have to be a decision maker to be a
split-second decision making.
Split-second decision making.
Rapid evolving situations.
Right. And you have complete discretion on the street. Right?
For the most part, I mean, when it comes to, you know, if somebody's committed a felony, there's no discretion there. You have to act on that and investigate it. But I mean, for your actions, it's how you conduct your business. With the words you use, the actions you take, how you communicate with people, those are all up to the officer.
And you, as an officer, you never know what you're going to get, what kind of individual you're going to encounter. Are they going to be high on something? Are they going to be just a belligerent prick because they had a bad day?
Or they may say nothing at all.
Johnny Face, thank you for the $5 dono. He says, stop treating crimes cops commit as merely personal issues. A crime is a crime, costume or no costume. So I think I agree in the problem that we have, I think, in society is that because of qualified immunity, which is slowly being eroded away, but I think too little, too long, too late, too everything. But because of qualified immunity, a lot of actions officers commit, the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court, by the way, I'm speaking from experience because I've prosecuted these cases on the civil side. The Supreme Court will bend over backwards, and the appellate courts will bend over backwards to try and defend police conduct. Even when, again, as an outside observer looking in, I've read lots and lots and lots of cases on the topic. And some of them, like, you read it and you go, I mean, you can see the situation unfold, reading the fact pattern. And you understand that, I mean, the officer was clearly in the wrong, at least from what you can read on paper. Like, you didn't see the video, but you read enough of these, you start getting gut feelings. And they might be wrong. Again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. You may have gotten some things wrong, but you read enough of these, some of them, you're like, they can't all be officer did everything right. But I can tell you from experience that the Supreme Court and the appellate courts will bend over backwards to protect police officer conduct, unless it is just so blatantly and irreparably wrong. And sometimes that's extremely hard to find. That's why so few cases police officers actually get liability, and qualified immunity gets they don't get the protection of qualified immunity, and they get sanctions against them, civil sanctions. I mean, most of these cases, if you've noticed, they're the very, very political ones. They settle quickly. They settle for millions and millions of dollars. They settle quickly and basically no questions asked. Case in point, Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. Both of those settled for, well, George Floyd with lots more money. But that's because media attention was garnered, in my opinion. I think that was the real fueling fire for why these cases settled. So things need to change, and I think change is happening, but as anything with law related, it's slow. Progress is slow. What's that?
It does take time.
It takes time, and the people are anxious for it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I think that. See, well, here's the other thing. Here's the flip side of the coin. Let me be devil's advocate to my own argument that I just made. The reason that the Supreme Court treats these cases in the way that it treats these cases is because they don't want a police force that is going to be so afraid to act to the point where they're not going to be able to do their job properly. Because if they have to second guess every single decision that they make, am I violating this dude's rights? Am I going to get sued for this? First of all, it's going to deter anybody from wanting to join the force. Secondly, even those that do join, I mean, what kind of pool are we going to be selecting from? You're going to have a bunch of individuals who don't want to be there, and it's a job. That's definitely not something you want either. So that's the justification, I think, for these courts to find in favor of these police officers so many times. But at the end of the day, it's a balancing act that they have to do, but a lot more of consequences for these actions. And case in point, by the way, I'll speak from experience here, Chris. Some of these cases that we take to trial, especially the ones that we win, a lot of people are saying, and I've heard this a lot to the point where I actually want to mention it, and I really, really like it. If there was something in place, because a lot of these cops, they act in ways that violate people's rights, but it's kind of like under the table. It's not like you can't really see it clearly, and they can talk their way out of it on the stand, only so far. But in a DUI case, like a police officer arrests an individual for DUI, the defendant decides to take it to trial because the prosecutor will not give a sufficiently good enough deal. It's, plead guilty to the charge as is with whatever penalties. And they're like, no, I want to go to trial. And the prosecutor's like, okay, let's go to trial. If the jury acquits and, the facts are so sparse to where the case should not have been brought to trial in the first place, to penalize the officer and make the police officer like pay a fine, pay some type of restitution to the victim, the defendant in that case, that would deter it would deter two things. Number one, it would deter police officers from, actually, it would deter three things. Number one, it would deter police officers from making these willy-nilly bullshit, fully lacking in evidence stops and arrests. Number one. Number two, it would deter these prosecutors from prosecuting these cases. And number three, it would deter police officers coming to court and making false allegations and lying about these charges, because if they get caught, then it's their ass. Because the problem is, a lot of these cases get taken to trial and litigated because there's no stake in the game for the prosecution. None whatsoever, except maybe a ding to their ego. I lost the case yesterday, whatever. But there's all stake is on the defendant, on the defense attorney. I win a case, it's fantastic. I lose a case, it's like, well, what went wrong, And for the defendant, it might be jail time, fines and court costs, permanent criminal record, or at least for the next 10 years in Kentucky, you can get it expunged in 10 years with a DUI specifically. So there's so little stake for the prosecution. But here's the other problem. How do you vet, the sheep from the herd? Maybe the case was a solid DUI case, but the defense attorney is just so darn good, there's an acquittal. Is it fair to treat that as the guy sleeping in the car in the parking lot and getting charged with a DUI when there's no evidence of driving, the same as, or he won on a technicality? That's the other problem. It's the balancing act. Like, how do you separate the sheep from the herd? How do you find those, and how do you classify them? How do you qualify them? How? That's the question. That's the question that you can ask in that sense. But I'm talking about DUIs. Obviously, I'm not talking about the videos we just watched. That is I think Chris would agree, is a clear violation of your Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment. I don't know, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 12th, 14th. Let's throw them all in there. Rights, Obviously, I'm joking, but that's just what it feels like. Hiram, thank you again for another 5. I will record police if and only if I have to. No way in hell will I initiate that contact. It is only to prevent them from framing me, not to bug them. I think Chad has deviated. I don't know. They went down a rabbit hole. As I was doing my soliloquy, I think they decided to kind of go out on their own.
Yeah, they did.
Thank you for the 10 months, News Now Lipsia. He says, hello, Chris. Can you tell us more about your law enforcement officer career? And by the way, this is, I don't know, Chris, I really enjoyed doing this, by the way.
I did. This is very nice. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, for sure. So I hope this is not the last time we're going to have you. I hope to make this maybe into a series or something like that, and promote your real estate business. And let me just beeline to that real quick. You said you were in real estate, correct?
Correct.
And what do you do? Commercial, residential? What's the name of your company?
Yes.
Tell us. Residential. What's
Correct.
do you want to share? I'm sorry. I'm trying to give you a plug. I don't want to. I know you're trying to kind of.
We can, or we can just save it for if anyone has any questions or anything. They can DM me, and I'd be glad to help. something we can go that route with it for now. And
Sorry,
I don't want to.
yeah,
I don't want
I
to
got a
take
little
this
carried
time
away.
to.
I was trying to give you a plug.
I don't want to take this away from you.
No, not at all. But no, let's answer News Now, Lipsia.
Okay.
Can you be more specific, News Now? I mean, it's a very, very broad question. Can you tell us more about your law enforcement career? Like, what exactly are you looking for? News Now. I don't know. You want to take it away, Chris?
I can just kind of go over my career there. Like I said, it was a 9-year thing. 2 academies, worked in a jail for quite some time. Went to the streets. Had a great time out there interacting with people, and did some arrests and some tickets, and I mean, I don't know what else. Just police work.
It was quite a broad question. It's kind of hard to answer, but let's see if if you chat, feel free. If you have any questions for me, if you have any questions from Chris, if you have any questions about what we talked about today. Ross asks, why did you leave? I'm guessing the department.
I want to take my next steps in my career is real estate professional. So I'm trying to grow my business there, and I saw a good opportunity, and I decided to take it.
Thomas McNulty, have you ever had to shoot a suspicious or jerky home buyer?
Oh, jeez.
Chad can be crazy sometimes.
I have to say, Larry, I was a little disappointed. I wanted to see a DUI stop, a full out, but maybe next time we'll get.
I know. Me too, man. Like I said, I probably should have previewed the video a little bit. I apologize, but we will definitely do this again, 100%. I really enjoyed this, like I said, and next time I'll at least kind of preview just to make sure I was looking for a video that was kind of fresh, fairly new, so that maybe, a lot of people, some of these old videos are like, yeah, I've seen this, and they kind of tune out. I want something that engages the audience, that is like, oh, I just heard about this on the news yesterday. Let me hear the opinion of an attorney and a former police officer, that kind of vibe. So I saw that and I just jumped on it, and I'm gonna try and do a better job in the future. So let's see, what other questions do we have? YRP asks, do cops really not understand reasonable articulable suspicion, or are they playing dumb? I don't know if you can answer that, but feel free, Chris.
Let's pass on that one.
Let's pass on that one. What was one of your more interesting police stops?
Oh, so many contacts. It would be really hard to narrow one down. I don't really have a certain incident that happened that replays in my mind over and over. So I don't have anything there for you. I'd have to really think about that one.
No worries. Well, listen. Looks like chat is dying the death of 1,000 razors. So we're going to stop here. Again, Chris, it has been a phenomenal experience having you on. I think you just bring something to the table that I can't bring. I've never been on the force, on any police force. And I think having this dichotomy, and we'll have a lot more fun in the future with these cases that are going to be like DUI arrests, like you just said.
Right.
There was limited engagement that we could both kind of bring here because, it was a very, very unexpected turn of events in the sense of where the video turned. But I guess it happens sometimes. I've seen videos that I can't unsee, that being one of them. So we will be doing this again for sure. And I think chat and the our void. We're going to be doing this again, and the chat and everybody and the viewers are going to be able to see a lot more engagement from both Chris and I, commenting on like the procedure, and you got a little bit of a taste of it today, but I think it's going to be a whole lot better. James Madison Audits says, I love that you don't have clothes or towels on my treadmill. Yeah, that's because that thing gets used sometimes. He says, Chris, I too am a former cop and now film cops. Do you want to do a ride along? So anyway, maybe we can make that happen in the future for you, James.
Maybe.
So thank you, Chris, once again for joining me. It's been, like I said, an absolute pleasure. We will do this again. And thanks for joining me here, chat. Hope you had some fun. Like I said, unexpected turn of the video, but we will definitely team up and hopefully have some more fun in the future. So
thanks, Larry. Thanks, viewers. I appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us, Chris. I had a great time. All right, you guys. Larry and Dago here signing off. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. We loved having you. Thank you. Had a great time, and we will definitely be back to stream. Look, she's so sleepy. Bye, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you next time. DUI Guy, peacing out. Take care of each other and take care of yourselves. Physical and mental health is very important. Deuces.